Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan, and a big shout out to my moderator Peter for suggesting that I look into this story, and it's one of many. I've had a long history with Daily Mail writing these shit pieces about veganism, and in this case there's a new study that just got published this month, and the Daily Mail decided to cover it because they found a way to spin it such that they want to freak people out, make people fearful that vegan diets will make your children skinny and short because of inherent deficiencies in vegan diets. I'll give some basic kudos to Daily Mail for at least getting the basic facts of the study reported accurately in their crap write-up. The researchers examined data from 59 studies across 18 countries representing around 48,000 children and adolescents and compared 7,200 vegetarians, almost 1,300 vegans, and over 40,000 omnivores, those who eat both plant and animal matter. So from Daily Mail's sensationalistic headline about this study, you can see that Daily Mail was quite eager to point out that vegan children were about 4 centimeters shorter than their omnivorous counterparts. And they're also very eager to point out that vegan and vegetarian kids in the study had lower body mass indexes, BMIs, compared to their omnivorous counterparts. And I like how they put it here. The lower your BMI is, the closer you are to being underweight. And to explain all this, Daily Mail follows up with plant-based diets lack essential nutrients such as calcium, iron, vitamin B12, iodine, and selenium. So I have a bunch to say, but let me just start off with this. So let's suppose, as most people probably fall into this category do, if this were all you were ever to read about this study that got published this month, and you didn't read the study or any of the other write-ups apart from this Daily Mail one, what would you take away from this? Would it be possibly that vegan diets inherently stunt children's growth? I mean, let's look at their headline again. I mean, look at this sensationalistic headline, and they have the word shorter in all caps. So let's be totally honest. I imagine your average Daily Mail reader doesn't even read the articles. They just see a headline like this and they feel like they got all the info that they need. Like, I knew it. I knew that vegan diets are crap. Their kids are shorter and skinnier, and it's got to be this inherently deficient diet that is stunting these children's growth. However, if you have a look at the actual study, nowhere in it do the authors suggest, hint, or conclude anything of the sort. Nowhere in there do they say that it's the diets, vegan diets or vegetarian diets, that are stunting children's growth. Instead, the Daily Mail does something really shady. They spin these modest, nuanced differences in height and weight between the vegan groups and the omnivorous groups, and they spin it into a scare tactic while omitting key major things. Like the article was about pointing out how supplementation is actually a really good thing. The authors mentioned the importance of having a well-planned vegan diet, and I want to point out the Daily Mail completely fails to address that the differences in sizes between the vegan group and the omnivorous group were within normal growth ranges, meaning that they might have been a little shorter or a little lighter, but they're well within the normal healthy reference ranges for children and adolescents. So no, vegan diets do not cause children to have stunted growth. And speaking of vegan children having a lower body mass index, being a little lighter than their meat-eating friends, well, isn't that a good thing? I mean, considering, at least here in the United States, about 1 in 5 children are obese. So if vegans are a little lighter than your average student that's eating meat, that's probably a good thing nowadays. All right, so now I really want to show you what a crap job Daily Mail did with their story and their headline. So I'm going to show you another publication who did a write-up on the same exact study. And let's see if their headline suggests that your kids are going to be stunted in their growth. So let's have a look at this article from Contemporary Pediatrics, who I'm sure is not going after viral clickbaity titles in order to make a bunch of cheap money. This looks like an article intended for health professionals or people looking for scientifically grounded information. Here, meta-analysis finds vegetarian and vegan diets can support healthy growth in children. So if you're not being a scumbag like Daily Mail and are honest about what the study actually says, what the researchers actually say, vegan diets can support healthy growth in children. Again, let's have a look at the Daily Mail headline. Can these two publications possibly be talking about the same study? Yes, they are. So unlike the Daily Mail, which tried its best to sensationalize, blow out of proportion these nuanced differences between the vegan and omnivorous groups, Contemporary Pediatrics pointed out that most of these measured differences between the groups fell within normal pediatric ranges. And while the Daily Mail was pushing that vegan children had growth impairment, Contemporary Pediatrics says these findings suggest leaner growth patterns rather than overt growth impairment. So once again, Daily Mail is a daily fail. The study clearly doesn't say that vegans have stunted growth as far as their children grow. Instead, these children have leaner growth patterns and within normal healthy reference ranges. So one big takeaway from the study, which Contemporary Pediatrics mentions very clearly, is this new emphasis that we're seeing as far as how children should approach vegan diets. And I've seen some of the more recent recommendations from other nutritional organizations stating the same thing, that supplementation is more crucial. You have to pay more attention when your children are vegan, pay more attention to their supplementation. A study's co-author said in conclusion, while well-planned vegan diets are nutritionally adequate and beneficial for adults, there is far less clarity about their suitability for children, leading to inconsistent or even conflicting advice for parents. Our findings suggest that a balanced approach is essential, with families paying close attention to certain nutrients, particularly vitamin B12, calcium, iodine, iron, and zinc, to ensure their children get everything they need to thrive. So the big takeaway is that the authors are not dissuading parents from having their children on well-planned vegan diets, as long as these diets are very well planned and children are very careful, very diligent about taking all the nutrients that they should be taking, all the vitamins and minerals that we just talked about. On the other hand, the Daily Mail says, no, under no circumstances would you want your children to be on a vegan diet. It would be like child abuse because it's deficient and your child's growth will be stunted. And I know a lot of anti-vegans and haters love what the Daily Mail is saying. Unfortunately, what the Daily Mail is saying is not what the study's saying. The Contemporary Pediatrics article much more accurately reflects the science and the findings of the actual study. To show you what I mean, let's look at another science-oriented rather than pop culture-oriented, clickbait-oriented publication, Medical Express. And are they saying that your children will be stunted if they eat nothing but plants? No, they say vegetarian and vegan diets can support healthy growth when carefully planned with appropriate supplementation. Yes, these scientific-oriented publications, their headlines for their articles are very non-shocking, non-clickbaity, but they're very accurate, and what they report about this study is very accurate. I know the Daily Mail is going to get way more clicks. It's a much more popular publication. Its headline is just total clickbait, but despite all those things going for the Daily Mail, their headline and the substance of their article are just completely wrong and don't represent the study at all. So you're seeing a textbook example of how the same data can be used either for nuanced guidance to clinicians and parents or for click-driven, look what vegans do to their kids framing. And to show you how polluting and dangerous this is of Daily Mail to misrepresent veganism intentionally like this, let me show you a comment I saw under their crap article. This guy seems to really believe it has long been proven scientifically that the lack of meat in their diets leads children to grow up to be physically, mentally, and morally deficient adults. I mean, I would give anything, really, paste it down below if there's such a link to such a study that it's been shown that vegan children grow up to be morally deficient adults. Like, morally deficient in what way? In fact, to my mind, it seems like it would be the opposite. Like, vegans have a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. That's a moral stance. We find animal cruelty and exploitation to violate the inherent rights that these animals, these agents have. So if that's considered morally deficient, sign me up. Well, I'm already signed up because I've been vegan now since 2010. So anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts about this are. Did you see the obvious misdirection, the misinformation that the Daily Mail did? And like I said, this is the first time they've done this with regards to veganism, portrayed it in the most negative light possible so that they can get a bunch of people that hate veganism to click and, strengthen those people's beliefs. I knew vegan diets are bad. So after all this, and you don't believe what the scientific publications that specialize in children's health had to say about this study, and you, for some reason, don't believe in truth or evidence and just believe in what your emotions tell you, your anti-vegan emotions, and you believe the Daily Mail, come to my live stream Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and tell me why you ignore science, truth, and evidence and just go with your gut or your vibes or something that tell you that veganism is bad. So anyway, for everyone else, thanks for supporting us. Hit like, subscribe, notification bell, all that nice stuff, and I'll see you guys Friday at the next live stream. So remember, doesn't suck being vegan.